Yakuba Sawadogo is world-renowned as the man who stopped the desert. The 80-year-old from Burkina Faso began experimenting with planting techniques back in the late 1970s to rehabilitate the eroded soil. Since then, Sawadogo has grown an entire forest on barren land using natural methods such as Zai. He sees his work as a legacy for future generations and a way of fighting the effects of climate change in Africa. Now he has received the Right Livelihood Award or the Alternative Nobel Prize for his tireless commitment to the environment. Eco at Africa visited him in the north of Burkina Faso.
Could this parched earth soon support trees? When Yakuba Sawadogo first said that in the late 1970s following a long drought, everyone said he was crazy. Since then, his woodlands have grown to over 40 hectares, bringing global fame to his home village of Gouka in northern Burkina Faso. Zai is a traditional method of cultivation which was originally used for millet. Sawadogo has perfected the method. With the Zai method, you dig a hole right where the rainwater would seep away. You use earth to prevent the water from draining out of the hole and put dried leaves in it. The leaves rot to become compost and nourish the tree. Any excess water can escape at the site. The freshly planted trees get further nutrition from compost, which Yakuba Sawadogo makes on the site with his sons using a very simple technique. We mainly put dried leaves into this composter. Then we add a little ready-made compost and ash. Then we stamp it down firmly. After a couple of weeks, it starts steaming, and then we know the compost is finished. The trees haven't just fertilized the soil, they've also attracted insects, including bees. Sawadogo's set up some hives for them. Their honeys become another source of income for his extended family. Yakuba Sawadogo's been experimenting for years. Now he wants to pass his knowledge on, not only to his 27 children and neighbors and friends, but on a much larger scale. Look at this forest. This is where we'll build our training center to benefit nature, the animals, and the people. If the prize I'm getting comes with money, it will go towards the center. And training won't be limited to Zai reforestation techniques. Yakuba Sawadogo wants more. There are roughly 90 different tree types, 60 of them growing in this forest. I've brought all kinds of seeds back from my travels, which I've planted here and used in traditional medicine. Without plants, there's no medication. And if you don't know what to do with a plant, maybe someone will come along and show you one day. Sawadogo swears by natural medicine. He knows which healing oils, which medication can be extracted from the fruits, backs and roots. His reputation draws unwell people to him every day, whom he and his children treat in these huts. I built these houses to accommodate the sick. Here they can recover, and one of the huts is my store for dried leaves and tree barks that I need to treat people with. Healing with nature while nature heals. Yakuba Sawadogo's fame has spread. He's now proudly known as the man who stopped the desert. On top of that, the water table has risen a whole 5 meters. The entire region has become more fertile. Yakuba Sawadogo has been awarded the Alternative Nobel Prize for his life's work, and he's already making sure his ideas live on long after he's gone.
Now we're heading closer to you, Felicia, to your neighboring country, Mozambique. It's got almost as many national parks as you have in South Africa, but they are in much worse conditions, right?
Unfortunately, that is true, NT. For years, Mozambique was ravaged by civil war, and conservation was not a top priority. But in recent years, the country has been trying hard to rebuild its conservation areas. A delegation of German scientists is now working with African partners to breathe new life into the Banhina National Park in southern Mozambique. They want to make it a more attractive place for tourists. Let's see what they've achieved so far.
Rangers at the Banhina National Park are taking a group of scientists from Germany on safari. It's a huge grassland park with wetland areas that are a paradise for birds. Stretching over 7,000 square kilometres, the park is a home for countless pelicans and the bird for which the park is best known, the ostrich. They're the only ostriches in Mozambique. The group has found something else of interest.
This is an elephant corridor. When the elephants pass through the area, they leave their dung behind.
These days, the park has no large animals of its own. Lions, buffaloes and rhinos were driven away, first by the Civil War, then by poachers.
It's not that poachers need food. That's not a problem right now. People have enough to eat. They set these traps because they want to make money.
The park has been a protected area for more than 40 years. There are stiff penalties for poachers, but illegal killing of animals remains a problem. It disrupts the ecosystem in the reserve. The rangers document their findings and remove the carcasses. While driving to some of the villages situated inside the park, it becomes clear there are other problems. These are sacks of charcoal made illegally from wood and confiscated by the rangers.
The villagers cut down the trees and destroy the natural habitat. The animals are forced to flee and end up entering the residential areas, which leads to new problems. The animals' habitat is being destroyed.
There are 20 villages in and around the park, home to nearly 6,000 people. Many residents can't understand the need for such strict conservation laws. So how can the national park foster better relations with local residents? That's the question that interests the group from Germany. Together with the rangers, they want to convey the message that the park is keen to support local residents. One man cites the example of another park nearby.
At the end of each year, the park gives 20% of its income to the local community. They can then use the money to buy something for the benefit of the entire village.
That would be a good model here too, and help local people to see tourism as an opportunity to earn money. Visitors from abroad would also get a taste of the traditional lifestyle of people living in the park. The volunteers are committed to a long-term partnership with the national park and the local community. They want to know what other activities could interest visitors, like wading through wetlands.
We need to preserve this to attract tourists. We'd like to offer something that other reserves don't have, so that people say, if we want to see that, we need to go to Banhina.
A nighttime safari is one idea. The park specialises in smaller animals. Here it's not the big five that visitors are likely to see, but frogs, antelopes and a rich variety of birds.
Now, let's turn to another interesting story on reduce, reuse and recycle materials in order to eliminate waste and protect the environment. When it comes to glass, it's usually crushed, melted and then remolded into new products. But what if that's not an option? In this week's Doing Your Bit, we'll meet an enterprising guy who found his own way to repurpose glass bottles.
In Uganda's capital, Kampala, there is no recycling. 3,000 tons of glass are thrown away each year. Heaps of bottles litter the environment. Some of that waste is now being upcycled by Bernard Omoni. He and his team make new products out of old bottles. With simple equipment, they create things like glasses, candlesticks, lamps and vases. A line is etched in the glass and then it's heated over a candle. It snaps. New forms emerge. The products sell for $2 or $3 a piece. Bernard Omoni now wants to move into glass blowing as well and recycle even more glass. That would be good for business and for the environment.
Do you like that? If you are also doing your bit, tell us about it. Visit our website or send us a tweet. #DoingYourBit. We share your stories.